Well, as mentioned, Israel has been facing increased pressure over the past few days as the media pushes out claims of a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The media is also suggesting that President Trump and Republicans on Capitol Hill are turning on Israel. But the U.S. ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, says the U.S. relationship with Israel is as strong as it's ever been. So are we just seeing a lot of fake news? Joining me now to discuss this and more is U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama, who serves on 5 Senate committees, including the Armed Services Committee. Coach, welcome back to Washington Watch. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Tony. Good to see you.
It's good to see you. It's been a while. So we've known that Hamas has been pushing out anti-Israel propaganda, and the legacy media eats it up. The latest being, I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, about some of the photos that have been construed, misappropriate, or have been, I guess, not fully described as they were. We saw these children that looked malnourished that actually, you would find out they had other health issues. It wasn't the fact that they weren't getting food. So does it appear like some Republicans may be falling for this latest narrative, or is that just more media spin?
No, that's just more media spin, Tony. We all know the New York Times, and that's the picture you're referring to. It's a shame that people do things like that. But I'm with Governor Huckabee. You know, the state of Israel is strong as ever. The problem is with Hamas. If it's my understanding that what's almost 2 years now that they've had hostages and refused to let everybody go, that was a complete disaster on October the 7th. It was brutal. It was gruesome. There's nights I wake up after looking at those videos. I wish to God I hadn't done it, but it was an animal atmosphere on October the 7th, all caused by Hamas, and everybody wants to blame Israel on the left, but I think we're working through that, and hopefully we can continue to work towards a resolution. But at the end of the day, there's not going to be a two-state solution. You and I know that. That ship has sailed a long time ago, and hopefully we can work this out and stop the bombing and save a lot of these young people over there that they say is starving.
Right. I mean, we have humanitarian aid going in, but no. I mean, there's no way you can say there's not a crisis. There is a crisis, but it was caused by Hamas, not by Israel. I want to go back to the two-state solution. You're absolutely right. It's a failed proposal. It's been out there for over half a century. It hasn't worked. Never gotten traction because in reality it doesn't work. Post October 7th, we saw what a two-state solution looks like when Hamas had control over Gaza. How can the UK and France continue to push that idea?
Well, they've lost their countries almost with their mass immigration. They have a different ideology there now. They're a socialist country. Both of them are. Their leadership is absolutely awful. That's a situation we'd be in today had President Trump not won. But just fortunately, that didn't happen, and we're on the road to recovery after the Biden administration. But it's an absolute mess over there. Europe's not helping at all. But again, if they want their own state, number one, they couldn't prove that they can handle that with what happened on October the 7th. There's no government. It's a terrorist organization, Hamas. And it's a complete disaster.
You know, it's really good that you pointed out, Senator, immigration connected to this, because the Europe has been overrun in many ways from migrating Muslims who have brought in a different ideology. And I think what we see there in the UK and France is they're pandering to this very vocal minority.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I think the ideology from the Islamic side is taken over. It's taken over the streets. There's nothing about Christianity anymore in Europe. It's almost disappeared, and it will slowly continue to go the wrong way unless they get good leadership there. But they have nobody. They have nobody that's really going to stand up. And look at Macron and Stammer, even all the way up in with Germany and some of those countries. They've absolutely lost it. And President Trump told them, last week when he was there and the week before, listen, unless you stop your immigration problems, you're in huge trouble. And again, Tony, that was exactly what they're trying to do the last 4 years in our country, just try to overrun us and try to overtake our country. Fortunately, that didn't happen.
I thank the Lord every day that the election turned out the way that it did. We still have issues to deal with, but at least we can deal with them under the current administration. I want to switch gears. Speaking of the current administration, the Senate has been busy trying to confirm President Trump's nominees, but Democrats have been obstructing this process. I talked about this yesterday with Senator Daines. Are we seeing any movement there on the Senate floor?
I think you'll start to see some. They're trying to be as hard-headed as they possibly can. They still have the Donald Trump syndrome. But Chuck Schumer is between a rock and a hard place. AOC's thinking about running for his seat. If she runs, she'll beat him into the ground. And he's trying to act like that he is a far-left Democrat, which he is, by the way. But he showed that one crack in the armor with voting for the CR last spring and giving us that opportunity to move on with government. So this is all about playing hardball against President Trump's nominees. What's going to happen, I don't know. We've met the last 2 days about it, about changing rules, about doing different things. What I'm for is just staying up here and going 24 hours a day for the next 30 days and just sleep in your office and go vote. Because if they want to play hardball, we better learn to play with them. Yeah. And if we don't do that and we give in to them, we're going to have huge problems in the long run.
Coach, I could not agree more. It is time to play hardball, and you've suggested that when it comes to the Senate Parliamentarian. The Senate Parliamentarian is the one that gutted a lot of the provisions in the reconciliation bill that came from the House. She booted it out in the Senate, and frankly, I'm not sure some of your colleagues fought real hard to keep some of that stuff in, but you've said that she needs to go.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, she's not on our team. We're in the majority. And it just because they've been up here a while and they've made friends, that doesn't play ball with me. I understand referees. I understand officials. I understand how things go. When times get tough, those things show up. Now, most of the time, probably there's a balance between Republican and Democrat when it comes to parliamentarian. But when they've got in the back of their mind that they really lean the other way, then you're going to have problems. And we saw that during the big, beautiful bill. So why in the world are we even talking about this? That this should have been done day one. And again, if you go back and look at what happened to Senators, 1991 from Mississippi, I can't remember his name right now, but
Trent Lott.
Trent Lott. He actually did what we should have done. After they started to vote on the bill, he said, "Well, wait a minute. I'm just going to fire the parliamentarian. I'm going to replace this one with somebody else." He can do that. Right. That's what you call leadership. And leader of the Senate can do that anytime, and we should have done it. And it should have been cleared up and off and running. We still got 3.5 years left. So hopefully we come to our senses.
Well, and you have more reconciliation bills coming. I mean, she was appointed by Harry Reid, right. So a Democrat. And you're right. I mean, the way Washington, D.C. is right now, it's very partisan. And I'm sure that John Thune didn't want to make waves. I can't imagine that he thought the Democrats would play nice with him if he left the parliamentarian alone.
Yeah, that sometimes when you're first time in leadership and taking over for a new group, you're kind of overwhelmed with other things that you have to do. But you have to look at what's very important. And what's very important up here is somebody that can turn a bill around on just a strike of a pencil. And right. that's what happened with the big, beautiful bill.
I think
it's going to happen again. We're going to have these same problems. But again, it all starts with leadership.
Well, I think as a coach, sometimes you just got to stick your fingers in your ears and just ignore what's coming out of the stands.
Yeah, and sometimes you got to make that 4th and 1 call on your end of the field, and nobody else can do it for you.
A final question. We got just about a minute left. You had a piece of legislation that came out of committee today regarding Veterans Home Care Choice Act. It gives veterans more options for care. Talk about that very quickly.
Well, more community care. What we have to remember here, Tony, is the VA is the largest healthcare system in the world, and it has more money than you can ever imagine. The problem is it's run by 80% union workers because of the Democrats. We can't get them to give us any more community care across the country. In my state of Alabama, we're 60% rural. We have a lot of veterans that have to drive 2, maybe 3 hours sometimes to a VA when they could go to their rural hospital and get the same care. And so this bill just adds on to the fact that we need more community care. They don't have to go to a VA. Just go and get your problems taken care of. Let's take care of the veterans. Let's quit worrying about the unions, quit worrying about politics, and take care of our veterans. That'd be a change up in this swamp.
Agree.